Well, hello again everybody. Welcome to another video. This time we're out on location, but it's not a new location, not for me. For those of you that may have seen the channel and followed the channel for a while, you'll know that last year I came here to Ellesmere Port and the National Waterways Museum, locally known as the Boat Museum. Now today I'm actually early. Well, technically they're open now, but I've been here for maybe half an hour, just mooching around, and I'm actually on the canal leading away from the Manchester Ship Canal, which is the whole reason why the buildings at the Boat Museum are there, really. And I've come out today with the Sony A7, which is balanced precariously on the parapet, and just the 50mm 1.8 standard lens. I thought it was about time I just gave this a tryout, if you like, a proper tryout. So far though, this has been really very good. It's a competent tool, and although I can't sort of say that I've fallen in love with it, it does the job. What job is that? Well, for those of you again that follow the channel, you'll know that I bought it specifically so that I could use vintage lenses on this and get the full frame coverage, which is what they were designed for, as opposed to using it on my micro four thirds crop sensor cameras. What I've come out with today is my very beat up Super Takumar 28mm 3.5. I mean, the glass is fine, it's just the actual barrel that's a bit knocked around. So I brought that out with the K&F Concept Sony E-mount to M42 screw adapter. Just those two, and the pocket of course, just to give them a try. So now we're going to actually head to the museum itself, see if anything's changed, and see what we can do. For those of you that haven't watched my previous video, I can thoroughly recommend this place to come and visit, and it'll keep you happy both photographically and from a historical point of view for hours on end. There is a wealth of different subject matter to be had here. Obviously it attracts a lot of visitors, so if you're into candid portraiture, there's that avenue open to you. There's all the historical artifacts, the bits of equipment and everything like that on offer. You have reconstructed cottages, which I will, assuming they're open, I will give you a quick tour around. I won't be able to do any stills this time, not as ably as I was on my last visit, because I don't have the ultra wide Laowa 6mm lens with me. But we'll see what the little 28mm Super Takumar can accommodate. And glorious day, glorious weather, very quiet so far. It's 10:30 on a Saturday morning, so hopefully I've timed it right. Let's move on. And this is the old woodworking shop. this is the superintendent's office, which last time I came I photographed this interior using the 6mm Lauer ultra wide, and I'm going to do a comparison. I'll put the 28mm Super Takumar on. Obviously the coverage is going to be nothing like as wide, but I'm just curious, and we'll put the two images up together so you've got a comparison. But isn't it such a wonderfully atmospheric room? I absolutely love this K&F concept extending selfie stick, because I'm still legally behind the barriers, and yet I can extend it right out over this desk. The Osmo Pocket 3 is a tremendously flexible and useful tool. And as a further comparison, I'm going to do a JPEG with the Osmo from in here. Just want to give you an idea of the layout of this place. I'm going to do some stills of this old wreck. But as I pan around, you can see that we are adjacent to some modern housing development. And the lock that you can see over there is the entrance and exit to the Manchester Ship Canal. And then panning further around, we've got a rather swish looking hotel over there. And this is the lower basin. So this is at the same level, more or less, as the River Mersey. And the larger ships would have berthed here to be unloaded and transshipped into canal barges. Gosh, have to be careful you don't trip over ropes and things like that. But the texture on this old barge is just jaw-droppingly gorgeous. I'm spoilt for choice, absolutely spoilt for choice. I want to get this one of the rudder here, because it's forming a beautiful reflection. we'll have a look at those when we get back. See what you guys think. It's just a perfect location for a photographer like me. Can't tell you. And this is the ground floor of the warehouse display area. And they have various sections here with items under restoration. Things like detail displays of pulley blocks and the like. We're going to find our way back outside now. If I can find the right door that I need. Here we go. Can't believe how quiet it is today. There we are, past the old Toad brake van. That's TOAD, Manchester Ship Canal livery. And we'll go and take a look at Porter's Row cottages just down here. Let's go in the back way. Always more informal than going through the front door, isn't it? Their lovely vegetable garden. Now, can I get in the back door? Oh, they've locked me out. What a shame, the devils. Oh well. Front door it is then. Now, who remembers these things? Telephone box. Wow. Those were the days, weren't they? Lift the receiver, dial the number, press button A. When it connects, press button B. Gosh. Even I remember these. How times have changed. Catchy tune. We'll try some shots with the 28mm wide angle in here, I think. Coming back to the purpose of the video, which essentially was to tell you about my feelings regarding the Sony A7. Yeah, no complaints. What I can't say is that I have any great passion for it. It's just, I mean, every camera really should be regarded as a tool, but in many ways, the cameras that I really like and love to use are ones that I feel I have a definite connection with, if you know what I mean. Just don't have that with the Sony. Every time you take a photograph, the shutter sounds like a kalunk. It's not a nice shutter sound. And it's, I don't know, is soulless is the word I might use to describe it. Lacking in character. That's a bit namby-pamby-ish, isn't it, when you're talking about a camera? But I hope you get the meaning. I just don't really connect with it. Maybe if I used it all the time and had a range of full frame lenses for it, you know, modern autofocus ones, then maybe different. But as you all know by now, that was the main reason for me getting out of full frame in the first place, the bulk in particular of the lenses. So it is most definitely simply a tool to allow me to use vintage glass in the way that the lenses were designed. Just looking down on the lower basin, some of the old hulks there. Looking across to that hotel and housing complex. So yeah, the large ships would come in either off the Mersey or from the Manchester Ship Canal, and their cargoes would be transshipped from the lower basin down there up here, and then it would either be stored, tolls paid, and then shipped on through the canal network, the inland waterways. Just looking across from the entrance to the inland waterway canal here in the foreground, and as I pan you around, hopefully in the distance there you can see the waterway in the in the middle distance, if you like. That's the Manchester Ship Canal, and then beyond that large tall grass bank, that's the River Mersey. So all in all, it's a competent package. You have to make allowances for the fact that it is 13 years old now. The biggest drawback, of course, is lack of image stabilization, but when you're using it with vintage glass, I'm not convinced that's a huge drawback. But as a competent camera, I think it's pretty darn good, to be honest with you. What I'm going to do now is just take a photograph from over here I quite like the way that this barge's rudder is just completely swamped with weed. I'm not really concerned about getting all of it in, it's just the bottom section that I want. Maybe you heard the shutter sound. Doesn't sound all that fantastic to me, I'll be perfectly honest with you. But maybe it's me being fussy. I think I need to plug in the extra battery for the GoPro, for the Osmo, because this one is about to cry enough, he said. Did I bring it with me? Yes, hooray. Well now, last time I was here, as memory serves, I had a friendly gopher following me around everywhere. Not heard him today. No sight nor sound of him. Maybe he'll put an appearance in before the end of the video, I don't know. I'm not at all sure what still images I've got today that are going to stand the test of time, if you like. I hope I've got something reasonable. I want to give you some comparison shots between the 28mm Takumar and the Laowa 6mm, which I used on my last visit here. The difference in angle of coverage is amazing. But you have to make allowances for the fact that the 28mm Super Takumar is at least, what, 40 years old? From a different era altogether. But having said that, I am a person who grew up in that era, and I would have given my eye teeth to own a Super Takumar 28mm, even if it is only 3.5, back in the 1960s and 70s. My goodness me. But I want to give you some comparison shots, so forgive me if I put some of the images from my previous visit last year into this one. I just think it makes it gives you guys a better comparison between the lenses and their coverage, not quality but their angle of view. As regards the A7 with the 50mm, perfectly fine on a day like today. The autofocus is lacking, really. You do need contrasting edges to make it work. I believe it is contrast detect basically, and in low light or when you're aiming at a flat tonal area, it really does struggle. It hunts like crazy. But that's not the reason that I bought it. I'm going to be using it with manual focus 95% of the time anyway, so it's really neither here nor there. It's a gorgeously warm day, but now I'm going to find my way back to the restaurant cafeteria area and at least get myself a drink. So I'm going to say to everybody, thank you very much for watching. Enjoy your photography, because that's what this is all about. Doesn't matter what gear you use, just enjoy it, use it, and get some fun from it. And I'll see you all next time. So from a sunny and warm Ellesmere Port, I'm going to say, take care, bye for now.
Alan! Alan!